what did you have to reveal about yourself in order for you to heal? And what role did God play in your healing journey?
God has played such a huge part in my healing journey, and just I've gotten closer to him, and in talking to him, just building a relationship with him. It's so interesting because I didn't have that before.
Welcome to a new episode of Now with Natalie. I am your host, Natalie Manueli. Today's guest is Emmy Award-winning actress, entrepreneur, and all-around powerhouse, Karrueche Tran. This episode, y'all, truly blessed me. We dive into the evolution of who she is and who she is becoming, and we expose the challenges and triumphs she's experienced along the way. Get ready for an inspiring conversation about resilience and owning your story. Ladies and gentlemen, Karrueche Tran.
I'm so excited, so grateful you're here. We are doing this. Thank you for trusting me, truly, real talk.
Girl, I've been wanting to do this for so long, and I think we just talked about, I was like, we talked about this, didn't we? And then you're like, no, and I think I've always wanted to do this with you, that I was thinking about it. I was manifesting it.
Well, we are here. Let's go. I'm so proud of you. Okay, so first things first, you're an LA native.
Yes.
You are a Emmy Award-winning actress, child. Does that ever get old?
I mean, I forget sometimes that that's real life.
It's real life.
And it's a huge thing.
It's huge.
That has happened and that I've been blessed with. And I have to just remind myself of all the great things that have come to me in my life. Yep. And, just to keep pushing.
Yeah.
And to work even harder and not to get comfortable. I have Emmy, so I'm good. No, that's okay, let's keep going. Let's keep that momentum going.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, award-winning actress, we've seen you on a plethora of magazine covers, TV shows, movies, Divinity, Claws. And you're killing it right now. And I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
Tell me when you knew acting was something that you wanted to pursue and a call and a purpose on your life.
It was at a point in my life where I was trying to figure things out. And I was working with somebody at the time, and they asked me if I had ever acted before. And I was like, no, but hey, I'm down to try new things.
Yeah.
And so I did a very small role in a horror film, Freaky Fridays or Fridays, something crazy. And I had one little line, and I was so nervous, but I was so excited. And it gave me a spark. I felt something there. So I was like, you know what? I actually want to try to become an actress. And so from there, I started taking classes, working with a coach. I even did media training at the time to help myself. And now here we are.
Award-winning Emmy. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So I've known you for quite some time now. You've been in the public eye for at least over a decade now. And I can say that I've seen such an self-evolution, such an evolution of who you are. A lot of self-development obviously has taken place. And I believe that in order for us to have the successes that you're standing in today, in order for us to actually be able to answer the call on our lives, there's a lot of undoing we have to do. We have to unpartner with certain things. We have to unbecome to become.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when we ask God to enter us into the new, we have to realize that we have to drop off the old. So what did that internal work look like for you? What did you have to drop off that you now are allowing yourself to enter into this new season?
I think one thing for me is I overthink, and I try to create this perfect world that I think is perfect. And over my life and career and everything I've gone through, I think something that I've been focusing on is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Come on.
And I'm so calculated sometimes, okay, I'm going to do this today, and then I'm do that, then that, then that. And I'm just, because I like structure.
Yeah.
You
same.
know, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I got 10 minutes to do that. All right, then I got 5 minutes. I can get my coffee. And, you know, I have like, I
Yep.
need my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it just doesn't work out like that.
Yeah.
Even in like the industry, it's like,
Yeah.
will this happen or that happen? Or even on set, you know, you're
Yeah.
supposed to be there for 6 hours or whatever. You're there for 12 hours,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like, whew,
Yeah.
releasing, surrendering. You know what? This is what it is. It's okay. It could be a whole lot worse. I'm fine. I've got my 2 feet. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's just being like, okay, we're gonna take it one step
Right.
at a time, and whatever comes, I just approach it with the right energy, with a clear head, and just go from there.
How do you surrender?
That's hard. You just gotta like, it's like you turn that off switch,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
I can like literally feel my body go, you know, and you just kind of, it's a mental thing. And you have to just, it's hard, and you gotta just focus and just trust in the universe, trust in God, and just know everything, I've learned this too, everything is always gonna work out.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, it's always going to work out. It is going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I just kind of hold on to that.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
I want to stick here for a little bit, just about, you know, I think with self-evolution and self-development, yes, we need to undo certain things, we need to unpartner with certain things, but it's also about the healing journey. And in order for us to heal, we have to reveal. And I think for me, a lot of my growth has happened in therapy and through my healing journey. And it's so interesting because when I had my therapy session, she was like, well, in order for you to heal, you have to reveal. And so I was like, okay, well, what are the things that I have to like look, what do I need to actually undo and unbecome? And a lot of the things that was revealed about me was insecurity, feeling not good enough, feeling, having trust issues, feeling as though maybe what God is calling me to, I wasn't, you know, capable of doing it. So in your healing journey, because I definitely can say I've seen your evolution of growth, and especially with healing from either public scrutiny, traumas in your past life, whatever it may be, what did you have to reveal about yourself in order for you to heal? And what role did God play in your healing journey?
What did I reveal about myself? I want to say, I think like what you said, dealing with insecurities, feeling like I'm not good enough. I've learned that in therapy too. That's something that stemmed from childhood. And that's one thing I just really love about therapy is you unravel so much.
So much.
And I'm like, oh, I'm like that because of this thing that happened before in my past. So it's a cycle. And even to this day, I'm still doing it. And even still to this present day, when I'm in that cycle, I'm like, oh, you gotta break out of this. You gotta break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like so.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard to face yourself. It's hard to
Yes.
face the truth. It's
Yes.
hard to look at the ugly things about yourself.
But that's what we have to do in order for us
like,
to heal.
It makes me uncomfortable. But, you know, and I think I also had to reveal, like, who do I want to be
Come on.
in this world?
Yeah.
Outside of social media, outside of who you see on TV. As a human being walking this earth, who do I want to be? What do I want to show up as?
Yeah.
Just a social media girl? No, because there's so much more to that.
Yeah.
When I think about life, I think about the foundation, and what are those bricks within my foundation?
Ooh, break that down.
So family, friends, work, self, and how can I become better at all those things? So as of late, over the past year or so, I've had to like, okay, how can I be a better friend?
Yeah.
I got to check in more. Because I'm the type of friend, like,
Yeah.
I'll disappear because I'm doing my thing. It's not personal. I'm just in my own head. I just might be at the house chilling by myself, but I'm just so, like, in my zone. You know what I mean? But I got to check in on this person. Oh, it's been a while. You know what? You know when you have those, like, oh, I haven't talked to that person. And you're just like, okay, I'll hit him whenever.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. And I'm like, no. Once you have that feeling or that thought, do it. Because I've, like, had those moments where I should have hit somebody up and I did it and they passed away.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh. It's happened more than, like, 2 or 3 times. And I'm like,
Yeah.
woo.
That's tough.
That is tough.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And I'm like, so I've it's unfortunate, but I've used that to help me become better.
Yeah.
How can I be a better mother? Not mother. I'm not a damn mother. I was thinking about my mother. How can I be?
I was like, wait, I forgot.
I had a secret baby. Oh my God. We're manifesting it, guys. Yes.
Clearly, it's probably coming to pass. If you would like, we can take that out, but that was so.
You guys can leave it. Oh my God. I was, like, very into it. And
Yeah, you stay there. Don't come out of there.
Oh my God. That was too funny. How can I be a better daughter? Is what I meant to say. I was thinking about my mom. And just communicating more with my mom and having, a closer relationship. We're trying to build a closer relationship.
Yeah.
Even being a better sister, trying to be a better aunt to my nieces and nephews. How can I be better at work?
Yeah.
When I'm working with the crew, making sure I'm a pretty, like, nice person, but making sure that I, like, look people in their eyes and, like, at least give them a little bit of conversation.
Yeah.
Have a moment with them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And I'm in my phone or doing whatever.
Sure.
And it's like, be present. Give this person, how's your day going?
Right.
And how's your, just anything. Just to have some type of connection or just type of substance.
Yeah.
That kind of makes life feel like life.
Yeah, totally.
I was in an Uber the other day and I talked to the driver the whole entire time. And I usually don't do that sometimes because I'm, like, in my phone or on the phone or whatever I'm doing. And in my mind, I was like, that was so nice.
Yep.
And he was cool. We just talked about whatever we talked about. And I just really enjoyed that. So I'm just trying to work on being a better me and trying to reveal to myself, like, all right, where can you just be
level
better?
up
In a positive and influential way that also makes people, those around you, feel good.
And you're doing it. I want you to
you.
know that you're doing it.
Thank you.
I want to stick here for a second. Because again, like I said, I know that you have been on a healing journey, healing trajectory for sure. What role has God played in your healing journey?
God has played such a huge part in my healing journey, and just I've gotten closer to Him, and in talking to Him, and just building a relationship with Him. It's so interesting because I didn't have that before. So to experience that now and to see, it's like sometimes I'm at home and I'm like, I'm just in a moment of, like, pure bliss and gratitude because I just got a call because I just booked something, and I'll just be like, oh God, oh, thank you. I'm feeling so good today. Like, I booked that. I was stressed out like 2 weeks ago because I don't know if I was gonna have a job, and I don't know if I was gonna make money, and this other thing happened, and I was like, oof, and that, and this, and da-da-da, and I feel so thankful. I'm so grateful, and I know you always hear me, and I know you always see me, and I know you have the right plan for me.
Come on.
So,
Testify.
and it's just so, like, I don't know, it's just such a great feeling to have, and it's like, He's just always there.
Yeah.
Always there. And every night I pray and talk to Him and tell Him how thankful I am. And I've also been leaning into tapping into my emotions or identifying my emotions, identifying when I'm feeling anxiety.
Ooh, same. Go into that.
So, like, around the strike, I was like, am I ever gonna work? How am I gonna pay my bills? Like, what is going on?
Happening?
And I was just so anxious because around that time, brand deals weren't coming in, roles and stuff weren't coming. Like, it was, I just felt like, oh my God, I just felt so stressed, and just not knowing what's happening is like the scariest thing, you know? So I talked to him in those moments too, like, you know, I'm feeling anxious because of this, that, and the other. I don't mean to question you at all, but I'm feeling nervous because of this, and I know everything's gonna be okay, and I'm trying to breathe through it, and this is a scary time for me, and I know you hear me, I know you see me, but I'm afraid, but I know it's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna leave it in your hands and be good.
Yeah.
So those moments are great too, because I'm like, I bottle things up.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I had to reveal, is I'm not good at talking about my emotions.
Yeah.
I am not an emotional person. I'll go sit in my room and think about it to myself.
Yeah.
But I don't let it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know how that is. It builds and it builds and it builds. And that's just that bottle that one day bursts, you know? So to be able to let it out just feels so good.
Yeah, I think for me too, that's like the biggest, because sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know how people do it without him, especially in those high alert anxiety moments. Now, what would you tell somebody, if it's a guy or a woman that, or a girl that is watching this and that is maybe afraid to open up that can and actually communicate with God? How would you tell them to approach it?
I would say to, in an interesting way, I would say to be free and just release and be free, and whatever it is that you want to say, or however you might want to build this relationship, do it.
Yeah.
Use your resources. If you have a friend at work that, you know, consistently goes to church, hey, can I go to church with you one day? Or, you know, whatever it is, like, just feel free to surrender and
That's good.
accept.
So good.
You know, and yeah.
That's so good. It's like the release and receive. Release, as we know, it's like just come as you are. Come as you are. As you release, you will receive.
Yeah.
So thank you for even sharing the moments of anxiety, because that's obvious. That's something I struggle with constantly, where I have to debunk. Like, yes, I have a relationship with God. I have faith. I have all these things, but we still have these human emotions, and we're still human beings, and this stuff still comes alive. But thank you, God, that we have somebody and someone bigger than ourselves that can anchor us and get us right back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Switching gears a bit, we talked about it earlier when your father passed about a year ago. And as you were grieving, you were also standing in an answered prayer. And I want to unpack this a bit, because there's so much nuance with transmitting pain into purpose. And so I want to read what you wrote on Instagram about his passing. And I'm so sorry to hear that. You penned this: the past 7 days have been tough. Receiving the call I always feared, making decisions I wasn't prepared for, being at Sundance, which is something I prayed for, trying to celebrate my accomplishments while in pain, feeling so many emotions all at once, and at the same time feeling numb. Sorry. It's okay. How did you make sense of that pain while you were standing in an answered prayer and living out your purpose?
Girl, I don't know. I don't know how to make sense of a situation like that. You know, it's like, something that I did fear, at getting that call, and then I got it, and I was just like, whoa. Wasn't expecting that, but okay, here we are. This is what we're gonna do. And it was such a rush because I got the call, and the next morning I was on a flight to San Francisco to gather his things and to sort out funeral arrangements and his body, like all these things I never knew were what you're supposed to do when somebody passes. Like I never had to, figure all these things out. And so I was just in a whirlwind of just having to move forward.
Yeah.
And then, I was out there for a couple of days with my aunt and my uncle, and, we were just doing what we needed to do. And then I was like, okay, well, I have Sundance this weekend, so what do I do? How can I be normal? How can I be regular? How can I go enjoy and have fun when this is lingering? This just happened.
Yeah.
It was the same week. Like I think it happened Tuesday, and then I think that weekend is when I went to Salt Lake City, and I thought about it, and I was like, what would my dad want? And he would have said, girl, get your ass to Salt Lake City.
That part.
Just like that.
Yep.
So, I was like, what? Whatever is happening, this is all for a reason. And everything's going to be okay. And so I pulled myself together, and I went, and even thinking about it now, it's like, it was kind of a blur because I was just moving. I was just trying to soak in Sundance. Sundance is so cool.
I love Sundance.
What?
Yeah. I've been one other time. It's fantastic.
Even to just attend is a cool thing, but to have your film premiere.
That's what I'm saying. You were living in there's two truths at the same time. You're living in an answered prayer at Sundance at a film that you're premiering.
Yeah.
And then grief.
Yeah. So it was like I was really just numb, to be honest, and I was just moving just to move and just getting through it and trying to experience this while also experiencing pain. And I don't have any regrets about going. I'm glad that I went and still was there and was still able to experience that. And like I said, I know my dad would have said, girl, go and enjoy. And, and it's crazy because the movie that I did is really crazy sci-fi alien film. It's such a weird film, but it's so beautiful. Yeah. And I know that's something that he would have really loved and thought was so cool.
And been proud of.
Yeah.
Well, he's proud of you, and you know that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Acting career.
Yeah.
Girl, acting. The industry that we're in, we get a lot of no's, not yets, constant rejection, constant, you're not good enough, we need this, we need that. How do you respond, or what is your approach when you do receive those no's at an audition, when you essentially feel like, you know what, I know I'm going to book this, and you don't? What is your bounce back?
Well, first off, it's like a stab to the heart. It's and it's crazy because when you audition and you I killed it, I'm going to get that. That was so good. Those are the ones you don't get. And then the ones where you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what just happened. That sucked. Those are the ones you book. It's so crazy how it works. But I think after a while, it's just you gotta kind of have to just pick yourself up off the floor. Yeah. And you know what? That wasn't for me. And this is something I've learned over the past couple of years, more recently. When I see somebody else book a job that I auditioned for, or just book something else, and I'm like, oh, I wanted that, or she's working, I'm not. I'm like, relax.
Ain't for you. Guys got something better.
whatever he has coming is something bigger and better and for you.
Come on.
And I had to really lean into that, because for a while I would just be like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Did she do a better audition? Oh, it's because her hair is this way, or just judging myself or comparing myself. And that's not fair for me to do that, to take that away from me. And also, like, it's the smallest things that you don't get. It literally could be you were a little too short, or they wanted a girl with, a curly fro, whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to do, it's not necessarily a personal thing. Right. And I have to not take it personal, and to take my ego out of it.
Ooh, taking that ego, my baby girl.
That's a big thing that I'm working on right now.
How are you doing that? What's that work look like? Because that's something I'm working on too.
A lot of talking to myself.
Yeah.
A lot of like, you know what? It's like literally talking to myself. Like, it's fine. It's whatever happened, like, let it go.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal. One of the 4 agreements, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Yeah. Like, literally just repeating that in my head to just it's outside of me, and I can't bash myself for that.
No. And I think too, what I've learned when because my ego has definitely gotten the best of me, is realizing when I'm operating from a place of ego, I'm operating from a place of self. So I'm trying to do all that I'm supposed to be doing, as opposed to the complete opposite of just surrendering.
Yeah.
Like, actually, this ain't on me. Like, I did my part. Okay, God, now it's on you.
Yeah.
And so I know that when I step in a space of ego, it's very much like, I can control this, I can do this. And that's 9 times out of 10, like, that's when my ego gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
And
we can't control anything.
No. We cannot. We
have no control over what happens. So you just have to, like, let it go. Even today, I found out some information from somebody, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, because he told me this, and I was like, because I wanted to hit up the person and say, well, how did you tell me this? And I'm like, you just got to let it go.
You just got to let it go.
For whatever reason.
Yep.
Just
let it go.
It's not worth it. And putting like time and energy into those type of things it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't serve us.
It's a waste of time. It doesn't serve us. Exactly. So why even?
Right.
Yeah.
So good. You have a film coming out, Lifetime movie.
Yes. Searching
for a Serial Killer, the Regina Smith story. You play a single mother. So you were a mom earlier. You said a single mom.
I am a mother.
Right, you are a mom. You play a single mother, police officer. Give us a glimpse into how you prepared for this role. Was there certain life experiences that you pulled from? How did you embody this character?
I connected with the actual Regina Smith.
Wow.
We were able to chat, her and her daughter, Nikki. And so I got to kind of, ask Regina questions. I got to see their dynamic and how they are still to this day. I had never played a cop before, so one of my friends, her cousin is a police officer. Mm-hmm. So I asked her if I could meet with him and just ask him like questions. Yeah. So I asked him like just random questions that I thought would be helpful. And I also asked Regina I asked her what type of music she listened to or listens to.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she sent me a playlist, which was really awesome, because what I try to do is try to just immerse myself in whoever this character is. Whenever like taking on a role, sometimes I just create my own playlist for what I think the character would listen to.
Yeah.
But this role was different because it's very specific. Mm. So she sent me a playlist, and it had like Prince and Tina Marie. She had some Kendrick on there.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
Regina.
And yeah, I just listened to it every day, while I was in the hair and makeup trailer. And yeah, I just wanted to really bring her story to life as best as possible. And I also work on like making sure things are the right fit. You know, so I read the script before I just automatically said yes, because I want to work, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be busy, but I was like, let me make sure that this is the right fit for me.
Yeah.
And so I read the script, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is a beautiful, heroic story. Like, let's do this.
What resonated with you?
I think her strength, and I think, you know, just Regina as a person, and what she stood for. And what drove her was her heart and who she really is.
Come on.
She didn't find that serial killer because she wanted a title or a reward. You know, she felt so strongly and so deeply and cared so much for these working girls, prostitutes,
Right.
which anybody else would just look down upon them and like, well, who cares? Like,
Right.
they're on the street anyways.
Yeah.
She saw these women for who they were, regardless of their situation or their circumstances.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful to see outside of what things might look like, because those were all just struggling girls, just like we all are out here, trying to make ends meet, trying to take care of things, you know? And because of that, that is why she, you know, was able to find this serial killer and stop him, because he would have kept going.
Yeah.
And he was taking their eyeballs off. That's why he's called the eyeball killer, because he was taking their eyeballs out. Yeah.
I don't know if
that's a real story.
I don't know if I knew that part. No, I know the story, but I don't know if I knew that part.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was named the eyeball killer.
Wow.
This happened in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
In like the 90s, 2000s, 90s. Yeah. That's a real life story. Like, that is, you went through what, You saw the faces of some of these girls that you knew and that you've seen on the street, and that's crazy.
That's wild. Okay, take me the trajectory of your acting career. Obviously, it hasn't always been smooth sailing. What have you been anchoring yourself in when there is the uncertainty of, like, if I'm going to book another job? Like, has there been moments where you're like, I'm done with this, I'm quitting, I don't want to act anymore?
Sometimes I think that. I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, you're just having a little mood. Get it together.
Yes,
but
yes.
Just believing and trusting in God and knowing that it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know? And that is, it's so sad to say, but that's the industry.
Yes.
It's so up and down.
Yeah.
All the time. You could be at, you know, a high one moment, the next you're like not doing anything. So accepting that as well. Like, you know what, this is the industry that I decided to be a part of.
Come on.
Nobody forced me to do it. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. Some days I'm gonna be irritated and mad because I can't book a job, and other days I'm having a conversation and thanking God for, you know, this role he's blessed me with. So.
Totally. What season do you believe you're in? I believe that we all currently, whatever season that we are in, are climbing a mountain. What mountain and what season are you in? What mountain are you climbing and what season are you in?
The season that I'm in is transition. And
give it to us.
There's been several times over the past couple months, I've had great news, I've had bad news, and I've had all of it, and I'm just like, what is going on? What is happening? Like, literally, what?
Yeah.
And I just had to, like, surrender, you know? And I think what's happening is I'm changing. Mentally and physically in so many aspects of my life. So it's a transition into the new me. And like we've talked about, dropping off old habits, old behavior, old ways of thinking. And, you know, when you want to grow and evolve, you have to realize that it's not just one part, it's everything. And so that's what I'm feeling right now. It's just like something, it's like when you're like, something's in the air. I don't know what it is. That's kind of like what's happening with me. It's like, I can't like pinpoint the exact thing, but it's all a transition.
Yeah.
And it's all just like different energy flowing, and me just kind of having to get used to it. And it feels very uncomfortable because, again, I like structure. I want to hold on, and I want to know what is happening.
What's going on?
What's going on? What am I doing next week? What am I doing next month? And like,
yeah. Now remind me, what's the one, like, give us a glimpse into what one old thing that you're actually wrestling with that you have to drop off.
One thing I have to drop off.
An old way that you know will not serve you in the new season.
I would say, there's a couple. I would say negative thinking, negative energy. Sometimes I internalize so much, and I'm like, oh, I messed this up, or I did that, or I'm having a bad day, or my hair didn't come out right, or whatever. And I'm realizing that I'm just exuding so much negative energy.
Yeah.
And this like dark cloud. It's like when you're like having a bad day and your t-shirt gets stuck in the door, and you're like, you know?
Yes. Ooh, that was me the other day. Hot. Something dropped. Everybody's in trouble.
Right.
Yes. Everybody is in trouble.
Exactly. You drop one thing and like it keeps dropping.
Yes.
So
not focusing on those negative things or those, whatever those things may be.
Yeah. Like, okay, that happened. Didn't like it, but let's leave it alone.
Right.
Let's not overthink. Let's not over replay what just happened. Because that's what I do a lot too.
Yeah.
Is like, I'll say a line wrong or something on set or something that I already filmed. And I'm like, why did I say it like that? Why did I do that? Yeah. That was so stupid. I look so dumb.
Yeah.
Oh my God, everybody thinks I'm so stupid. I'm an idiot. Why would I do, and I'm just like, it's this whole domino effect. And I'm just like, whoa.
But you for sure cannot take that into that's literally what I'm working on now. It's like the enemy wants to rob us of the now. He wants to rob us of feeling that peace, feeling that success, knowing that you've probably killed that line. But of course it's like, oh, I'm going to plant a lie in her head to say that she did it. I'm going to dismantle what the truth really is.
Right.
And that's literally what I'm undoing right now as well.
Or even if I did mess up.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And I think this is something that I've dealt with growing up my entire life, is like looking stupid, looking dumb, sounding dumb. Because I have this idea of perception, or I don't want to look dumb or crazy.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Right.
And those are the moments when you actually grow and become better. So yeah, I'm really trying to just let go of perfection.
Yeah. Ooh, so good. It's hard, but it's so
hard.
needed.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, what legacy do you hope to leave?
Rare. I think for my legacy, I want to, that's deep. I think for me, it's about, what I've been told about myself is that I have a certain energy and certain light.
Yes, you do.
And
you have a light.
Thank you. I want to maintain that and hold that and never lose that. And when people think about me or talk about me, I want them to say, when I met her, she was so nice, or she was so cool. Accolades and all these different achievements and stuff, they're amazing. Like, love them to death. But when you think about the real world and humanity, who are we? How are we showing up in the world? How do you make people feel? You've met people where they're like a dark cloud. You feel the energy and you're just like, ooh, I don't know about that. Like, they're cool, but I always want to keep this essence of who I am, and just exude positive energy and love. And we've talked about this on the phone when I was like, I had to ask God why, when all this fame or whatever you want to call it was coming to me. Like, why? Why is this happening? I didn't ask for this. I didn't grow up a childhood star or in art. Why? Well, because he's giving you a platform to be great and to be a light and to
Come on.
show people how can I phrase this? Show people a way of living life and being kind. We don't have enough of that.
Yeah.
Just being kind and nice. And sometimes I have to check myself too, because sometimes I'm a little irritated or mad. I'm just like, I have an attitude right now. But for the most part, you know, it's like just carrying good energy and just being a good person.
Yeah.
F social media and all that stuff. I mean, I love it. But like, again, I'm talking about if something happened, if the aliens came and they stripped everything away, who are we?
The aliens?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
But yeah, just keeping like a level of being grounded.
Yeah.
And just having great aura.
Yeah.
And spreading that.
And you do that. And I love that you brought that up, because when you did say that to me, I felt that so strongly, like, dang, God, why, when you said, like, why are you giving me this platform? Mm-hmm. And I believe to much is given, much is required. Mm-hmm. So if he's given you this, mm-hmm. you are required, you are responsible mm-hmm. to fulfill the call, to fulfill the purpose, to be the light mm-hmm. of the world. Mm-hmm. And you're doing it.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored and humbled that you trusted me and sitting here with me today. Real talk.
Yes.
Like, keep on keeping on. You're killing it. There's so much more for you. Keep going. Stay connected to the Father.
Yes.
And everything that your heart's desires will come to pass. So.
Thank you. And I'm so happy and so proud of you as well, and everything that you've achieved.
Fall on the path.
Look at us.
Oh, so good. Thank you, girl.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
I appreciate
you.